If you listen to Trump, Besant, and everyone else, they say first get the dollar down, get rates down, get oil down, get the tariffs done, get some tax money from that, and maybe give it to some people in the bottom 50%. These are their plans. Then there's growth because they need the economy to grow. Besant has made it very clear that we need Main Street to start making money again. Things have gone wrong because rates have been way too high. They need to get the ISM to go over 50 and start going up faster. This is the classic sign of the next part of the cycle. When liquidity really happens, business cycles happen, earnings get recycled, and people start taking risks. All of that is coming up. What's crazy is that the ISM is still bottoming. I think this is the longest bottoming pattern in the ISM's history, so the cycle will probably last until 2026. That means we still have 12 months to go. That being said, what we're seeing now is pretty amazing. We have none other than Donald Trump making this bull run last longer. Because of that, there will be more ups and downs in the short term. Now here's the deal. It will take longer than planned for quantitative easing to start because of taxes. This changes a lot. Raoul Powell says that this means the cycle will probably last until 2026. That being said, there have been times in the past when certain economic factors made it take the Federal Reserve longer to lower interest rates and print a lot of money to put into the system. We also saw a long bull run with more ups and downs during it. This is probably what we'll see here as well. It's important to remember that as long as the money supply keeps going up and the money cycle keeps going, it's likely that tech stocks, the Dow Industrial, and cryptocurrencies will all go up in value. This is because smart investors are putting more money into crypto and other decentralized payment systems because the dollar is getting weaker. That's why we're going to talk about the subject in today's video. There have been a lot of changes since Trump's latest taxes that give us a lot of new information. Please, click the like button and subscribe if you like what you see. Now let's start. People are reacting to the news about Trump, of course. But a lot of this was already going to happen because the rising dollar and rates last year made it harder for people to borrow money. How prices move. Right now, Bitcoin isn't that bad. It's not like the Nasdaq is being blown up and everyone is talking about both the Nasdaq and SAC. When it comes to world M2 vs Bitcoin, a 10 or 12-week lead doesn't really matter. The Nasdaq is also the same. Based on this chart, it looks like we're around the bottom. The 3-month percentage rate of change for Bitcoin has already taken into account all of the tightening of financial conditions. It should soon start taking into account the other side, which is that financial conditions are loosening. This will be a lot higher again because of the last few days. So it's kind of what I expect. You can see from the black line that this only looks 10 weeks ahead and doesn't take into account how the dollar, rates, and oil are moving right now. Also, just so people know, there are different ways to measure financial situations. One of the best ways, though, is to use a mix of rates like the dollar and some commodity prices, also known as input prices. And the price of oil has changed a lot. Rates have changed by a huge amount. They made a nice top with a head and shoulders. It looks like rates will go back down to 3.5% in 10 years. There have also been huge changes in the value of the dollar. I said the dollar would move a huge amount, and the dollar is the most important way to measure liquidity, because everyone has dollar debt. And I've said this from the start, China wants the dollar to be weaker. In the end, they will agree on tariffs, no matter what the talks are about. They have to, because they need the dollar to be weaker to pay off their dollar bills. When the dollar is weak, the global economy is stronger. This is because everyone needs to sell goods. The US needs to send things abroad. The dollar should lose value. And a lower dollar is the best way to get people to spend more. It's all for me, in a way. It looks like it's getting ready. The next step is to work on the technicals and the chain, as well as to nail down the timing, which we both agreed would be higher in the next 3 months. There will likely be consolidations in the next 6 months or a year. It feels a bit like that, almost certainly, which brings up the question of whether it will be higher next month. Personally, I think it will be higher within 2 weeks than it is now. In other words, because of this, a lot of global capital will be affected by the dollar, which is currently falling. If it breaks below the 100 level, it could go all the way down to 90 or so, which would be a good cyclical dollar bear market during a structural dollar bull. Besides that, there are the central banks and others which are likely driven by China, the US, and others using different liquidity methods. So, China is probably the big one that has been in charge. Up until now, it had been at the top of the charts in both 2017 and 21. It stays strong for a lot longer than anyone thinks it will. Then it goes up, and this is the monthly DMARC. We also put in a 13 top, As I switch that to the daily now, we're getting very close to a 939 top that will happen in 2 days. That would match the 913.39 on Solana for me. There are a lot of signs that the liquidity cowbell is about to sound. The structure of the market may change along with it entering the next phase. I tell everyone about the second part of the bananas, which is usually when the alternate season starts. When I think about the crypto years, I know that this is year 4 of the cycle. The previous year 4 was 2017. Check out what happened. The 4th year of the series was 2021. Check out what happened. We always came in at the lowest point in the 4th year of the run. It's interesting, Raoul said that by the end of this year, there will be over 1.1 billion crypto wallets. This is one of the most exciting and shocking facts I learned from the talks. By a long shot, this is the fastest acceptance of any new technology in history. It's even faster than the internet. A lot of you should be really excited about that. There's a lot of chance here. And I think that most people who are into cryptocurrencies still haven't used altcoins. We're going to talk about HBAR, XRP, and Solana. A lot of these people haven't heard of them. Not many people know what XRP or HBAR are or how they work, even though many have heard of Solana. As soon as they fully grasp this and understand how it can be used for international purchases, I believe it's an easy choice. I think this curve of acceptance is going to really take off. By the end of this year, I think XRP will be worth $20, and no one is sure of the exact time it will happen. No one has that magic crystal ball. But we can look at what happened in the past. We can look at monetary policy, the strength of the US dollar when it reached its peak, and what happened right after that. Look at the overall amount of money in circulation and what happened right after it reached an all-time high. Hey guys, it's pretty simple. When the money supply goes up, people buy more cryptocurrency and riskier investments to protect themselves against the dollar. If they sell at the right time, they can make a lot of money. That's a big if though. Not everyone will do that. But listen, I have a lot of faith in you guys, and I know that you're great listeners, well-informed, and a great crowd. And I want to make sure that all of you great people can go ahead and get the most out of this bull run. I wish I had lots of the information Crypto Crusaders gives out when I first started investing in cryptocurrency. If I did, I would have made tens of thousands of dollars more between 2017 and 2021. Hey, I'll put all of this stuff together now. As someone who has been interested in cryptocurrency for about 8 years, I'm going to teach you all what I know. I will also make sure